Good morning. So let me share this out. Share. Copy link. Wait a minute. Hello, everybody. Yeah, I think I don't need to have voice. Good evening to everyone. Hey, good evening. Good morning to everyone. Still wrong. So, how are you guys doing? Are you guys good? Another day, another butter class. Before that, anybody have anything to ask? Yeah, you guys can actually ask me. Let me share out to my group. Yeah. So how are all of you? Today, we're going to continue with the stuff that we're actually learning about, of course. But I'm going to cancel this out. Let me a while. Yeah, I want to close this up. Abort. Good afternoon. Hi. Hi, Olivia. Hi, Viv. Say hello. If you want to share this out, you can share this out. Okay, welcome to my sessions. My name is Seno. I'm just a metaphysics practitioner. Okay, and I'm going to do this weekly kind of butter class to just share out. I think everybody know who I am. If those who are actually following me for quite some time, I am somebody that actually look into metaphysics in a more broader perspective. I'm not really traditional kind of practitioners. Yeah, but I'm going to share something very interesting for all of you guys who are interested in a subject in a more element-based perspective. Okay, so before we actually have anything to start with, anybody have any questions you guys want to ask? Any questions you guys might be interesting to ask? You can just key in. I will just answer you as any way possible that I can answer. Yeah. So we have gone through the 5 structures for quite some time. The 5 elements for quite some time. My style is like that. I don't want to talk about the 5 structure first. I will talk about the 5 element first. Then I will talk about the 10 element before we go back into the 5 structures. Because the 5 structure is the interactions. For the element is also an interactions. So it'd be more interesting to look into the interactions to read Bazi. For me, my style is like that. Yeah, because I think that is way more good to have Bazi reading on the element base. Hi, Priest. Okay, I like on the element base. Yeah. So what is actually an element base? I just give you guys a concept of reading so that you can let Bazi to teach you back how a Bazi was actually is. Hi, Regina. Yeah, because I think most of you guys who learn metaphysics not really look into this way. most of the time when we learn, we are using it as a labeling that we actually given by everybody else. So I'm trying to give you something more flexible to use. Okay, I want to try to give you something more flexible to use. So how to be flexible? It was meant to be labeled, right? So in Bazi terms, we can actually make it very flexible by using element base. Yeah. So how do we actually know that Jia Wood is basically stubborn? Yeah, by understanding the element interactions. Okay. Oh, hi, Tony. So normally in a chart reading, the Jia have its own specialties. Okay. And to remember the Jia specialties, I think for some of you guys is pretty much difficult, very difficult to remember. Yeah. So in Bazi, the 5 element we look at it is a very broad, big picture. Very, very broad and big picture. But when you look into the stem itself, then we are trying to narrow down. Now, the person who created the school or this particular school, I think they are very brilliant. They are very great. They are really very intelligent because the way that they describe these 10 stems are related to yin and yang. Okay, something you guys must know, yeah. In learning Bazi, you must know about yin and yang. Okay, I'm not going to tell you some ridiculous things about yin and yang, how does it form, how does it form a trigram. I'm not going to tell you about that. I just want to let you guys know that yin and yang can represent a very big portions of how the 10 stem was formed. So it comes from the 5 element itself, right? So this is the main basic core, the broader mindset. Yeah. So when it's separate to yin and yang, it was actually go into both way, right? Both way. So one fire element can now separate it into yang and also separate it into yin. Okay. So the concept of yin and yang must be brought in to understand this even further. Yeah. So as you all know, yang represent aggressive. Yeah. Take actions. All right, not. And then it's also mean massive. That's mean equal to big. So when the yang one is also represents stronger, okay, it also represents stronger. And the yin side of it are the opposite of this, of the yang, which is passive. All right, not. Then less actions taking is not really inactions. You can say inactions, more like inactions. Smaller version of the element, and then you will say is a little bit weaker. Okay, so this is yang and yin. Of course, they also represent the mindset perspective. One is more emotional type because this is all related to inner world. When you go for the yang side, is actually go for a bigger world. Yeah, so this one is more into not emotional type, but actually exert out more. So what is the opposite of emotional? You cannot say unemotional. I would say this one is more bigger, broader mindset. So it would think about other people more rather than you yourself. So one is selfish, one is unselfish. Okay. This is how that you actually look into chart, yeah? Look into Bazi chart. So the 5 element then will be separated in this way. Okay, and it's very intelligent because the one who created Bazi, most of the time they relate it back as a nature. Okay, a nature that is around you was formed so that you can learn about them by observing them, how they actually function. Okay, I know in Bazi, in metaphysics, they actually fixated the way to explain them. But if you learn this way of element interactions, you actually have more ideas than more flexibility to use them rather than the labeling was actually giving. Okay, more flexibility to use them. So this will then also highly related to your day master of who you are. Okay, highly related to day master of who you are, because the day stem represent you, represent your yin and yang, represent your actions taking, represent are you more emotional type, or are you a weaker type that easily to be killed off? Yeah, it actually represents in that way. So in a Bazi chart, even when you read it, was meant to be like that. Yeah. So hi Joe, it was meant to be in that way if you look into Bazi. Okay. So how does this actually teach us back? The first thing you need to do is to relate them to nature. Okay, relate them to nature, and based on yin and yang type, you will then know that this nature is harder to die. I like to use the word die or being killed off. Okay, hardest to succumb to any circumstances. That means even though your chart is a weekday master, you were meant to be easily be killed off. But if you are a yang day stem, it's harder. Okay, easily be killed off. This means what? So yin and yang have a separation like that. Yin element is easily will be actually being killed or being taken away by the environment or by little things or by sickness. It's very easy to be taken away. So in some sense, the yin one is easier to have element to be killed off. Now, of course, if you learn Bazi, we cannot have our friend stars is going down, or our IR or even DR is going down. We cannot, especially DR. Okay, as a friend star already represent your day master. So if these both elements go down, it's a high indication that you might have certain issue that's coming in. Yeah, DR and friend is also represent your health. Okay, so this is a very bad way to look at the chart. But if you are a yin day master, you are more easier to succumb to all these things. Yeah, yang day master require a longer term to have this issue to come by, to take over. Yeah, it's just that like that, because that's why I say they are very brilliant when they created the Bazi. They're very, very brilliant because the way that they actually use it, interpret it, creating the structures, using the auxiliary stars, are highly dependable on a yin or yang day master, and highly dependable on whether you are the strong day master or you are the weak day master. And what kind of things that can actually take you away is also related to that. So this is the interesting part. So if you can imagine them, visualize them, what they are, and how does your painting was actually looks like, most of the time you can grasp what your destiny is looking like. Yeah, so Bazi is using in that way to represent. So you are in some way part of the nature. Okay, and what is it surrounding of you? Yeah, that one we'll talk about it later when we actually interpret chart. Yeah, so now I'm just showing you that the origin of the 10 step must come from yin and yang. Yeah, and then I tell you how that you actually remember the step, how that you can actually remember the step. So to remember them, to learn them, you have to know the interactions of this 10 step. Okay, the interactions of this 10 step. So the more that you understand it, the more easier the interactions, the more easier that you can actually bring out the attribute of this 10 step. Yeah, of course, the normal way is just to tell you how does it look like and stuff like that, the labeling that was actually given. Yeah. So these are the 10 images that you should take note. Okay, these are 10 images that you should take notes. Of course, these 10 images represent the 10 step itself. And how does it actually look like? Now, just now I just tell you, right? The yang stem, which is the yang element, which is Jia, Geng, Bing, Ren, and Wu. This is the yang stem. So based on the images that you see, you will already know that they are harder to succumb to any situation because they are too strong. In nature-wise, you are too strong. Of course, you have your own circumstances that might easily succumb to certain illnesses. To get a full details of breeding, you must know who you are and how does it affect you the most. Some of the charts, some of the element in the chart are more, about sickness and health, because some of you guys concerned about that, right? Are more easily to have the issue based on the nature that you have, which is related to the stem. Example, your tree might have issue with skin problem. Yeah, because originally it was there. So if your earth element, if you're Jia Wood and your tree, the higher chances you will get skin problem. Yeah, or your head can actually cause problem. Yeah, what is it that causes it to have problem? So normally we will look into the skin then related to earth element. Yeah, it's very broad. Yeah, if I tell you like this, it's very broad way to look into the chart. And I want you guys to imagine it by yourself, yeah, because I cannot tell you everything. Okay, you have to understand this, the element of this 10 step and interactions with them and how that you reflect it on nature. So you have to go and see a tree. If you want to learn and know about Jia Wood, you basically have to go and see a tree and see how the tree can die. What can happen to the tree? What tools to cause this tree have issue? What is it that caused the tree more dominant, more good? How to use the tree to become more good in every way possible? Yeah, all of it you have to observe the nature. Then you will learn Bazi in a very well-versed way, using element, without understanding the special structures, without understanding the old text. You need to understand the old text, without even trying to go and dig out what does this actually can mean to become powerful. No need to even do that. Yeah, because everything was already given by the nature itself. You just need to understand these 10 things. And how does it there actually reacted? Okay, the more you understand, the easier you will know your nature of life. That's why I say, again, I have to repeat this, the one who created the system are very, very intelligent. They observe one part of it. Okay, I do not know they get inspirations of, the divine guidance to create the school, but it really related a lot. So what happened to your surrounding are then related to the nature of your own chart. That's why when I begin of this class, right, the first beginning I was talking about this class, I was mentioning about that your chart are meant to be a painting. Are meant to be a painting. So if you can observe the painting itself, what can damage or cause problem to the tree, then represent that this is the cause of the issue that you might want to mitigate it. To mitigate it, you might want to get another new element to go inside the painting. So everything is pictorial form. So if you look into this way, you learn faster, it's easier to understand. Yeah? Now, so I need to tell you what is the yang stem and what is the yin stem. And I need to also tell you how that a nature of a stem come by understanding the other stem. Yeah. So of course you will know that really have to look into nature. Yeah. So just now I said that the yang is the this 5, which is the Jia Wood, the Cân metal, the Ping fire, the rainwater, and also the earth. Okay. Then you will have the yin one, which is the Ji earth, Yi wood, Xing metal, Ting fire, and also Gui water. Yeah, you have to understand the yang and yin. Why? Because yang and yin represent certain things that they really need to do, and something they're unwilling to do. So what is that supposed to mean? You have to understand these are, this is the basic core. Yeah. So we have what we so call the Tao, right? We always go back into this, right? So one side of it is yang, one side of it is yin. Now, only by a yang stem can do well with the yin stem. Doing well, willingly to approach. Willingly to approach means you can actually tell yourself to do something with this. Yeah, to make friend with this yin stem. If you are yang stem, you love the yin stem because this brings balance. Or you can say one big portion are able to absorb the smaller portion. So in parts of reading, it comes to this. It also tells you why your 10 gods, some of it you're willing to do, some of it you're not willing to do. Okay, so this is the beginning of reading. But if yang stem with yang stem, they are not really a very good combination. So they're not willing to perform what the yang stem are doing. Yeah. So in your picture, your painting, if one yang element is dominant, is already a very big chunk of it inside your painting, you will not like the other element, which is another yang element, appear inside the chart. That means both of these will somehow do not like each other, or your chart is too yang. Example of next year chart, 2024 chart, right? Everybody know that this is a very yang chart. Now, everybody, the predictions, the divinations will also indicate that this year is going to be chaotic because everybody want to stand up, want to come out to become better. So there's one way to look at it. So too many yang elements in one part of chart are basically not good for you because you might be too aggressive. You don't really care about your emotions. You don't really care about other people's emotion. Why? Because your yang element is overlapping the yin element, which is also the reason that when you learn about Bazi, you might want to really go into understanding what balance your chart. What are the things that you are willing to do? Yeah, it's the same for when you are a yin stem. You would like the yang to come in to help you. So this is a nature that you should have inside your chart. Okay, and because of that, then the perspective on you're looking into this particular 10 stem will completely be different. Completely be different. Of course, their nature must relate to their own nature. It's just they don't like the yang type. Yeah. So example, let me give you an example. Yeah. So of course we have to start with the jar. Okay. So 7 killing is this guy, Cân metal. Okay. And when jar countering out, direct wealth is this guy. This is the direct wealth. No, this is not direct wealth. This is the indirect wealth. This is the direct wealth. Yeah. So in nature, why is it that we are willing to work hard? In nature, why is it that we're willing to work hard? So in Jia Wood, the perspective for Jia Wood, you're willing to work hard is because you having a combination with this G Earth. You're willing to perform it? Yeah, it's okay to do it. If not, the concept of the Bazi will go wrong because Jia is supposed to counter the G Earth. When you're countering, you don't like it. Yeah, but even countering, in some sense, there is flexibility that you will like it because this is a combination. Okay, a yin and yang combinations represent marriage that you're willingly to go into to accept the other parties, no matter what you are doing. Now, of course, this will be different. Take away your concept of husband and wife first, yeah. Take away the concept of it because the stem itself must have its own interactions with first. Must have. So that he's willing to do something and not willing to do something because of the job, okay, of the stem itself. Yeah, so I'm just explaining. So when Jia meet with Geng, this is the one that can basically kill the Jia wood. Correct or not? Yeah. If it meets with Wu Earth, then this is the one that Jia willingly to go and conquer because it's countering out also. Willingly to conquer it, but doesn't mean that he like to do it. Yeah, it doesn't mean he like to do it because yang and yang is not a good combination. Remember that. Yeah, this is the basic, yeah. So once you know that, so we say that Jia is somebody that very fast to get angry and stubborn. Where is it that come from? Where is it that come from? It come from the Wu Earth and also the Bing fire. Yeah, Jia was meant to produce to the sun, right? But in nature, the sun does not need anyone. Okay, in nature, the Jia wood actually need this sunlight to do is what? The photosynthesis is something like that, right? To grow, to become better. Jia need this to become better. So when you look into the Jia element, then you will already know where is the angry come from. It must always withstand the sunlight, yeah, to protect the yin element. So most likely, whatever that near the Jia is actually yin wood. Okay, it will not be, of course, this earth was actually also part of it because when the tree is actually spreading out, yeah, it was actually protecting the ground. So whatever in the ground, see, this is already a nature, already something you can see in nature. Yeah. So then we can say that, okay, because Jia protecting the earth and also the flower to, to make the soil do not get that dry, then the other element can survive, like the insect, like animal sign can have something to cover up so that they can survive and not always under the sunlight because the sunlight will kill them. Okay, this is where the meaning of Jia become protective. Yeah, for Jia to grow, it need water, right? And it need the soil. So there is an interconnection with this both. So then you will know that Jia was made to protect because of the growth. It was made to become stubborn. It need to hold the ground, yeah, so that everything can be protected. There is a stubborn coming in. And then you protect yourself from the sun, you protect everything else from the sun. This is where the anger come in. Yeah. So that's why I say, when you learn Bazi, you're supposed to look into nature. It will completely tell who you are in some sense. But because of your chart, sometimes the sun is not there. Sometimes the soil is not there. Sometimes there is no yin wood for you to protect. That will tell you what is your opportunities, What function are you in this world? What kind of things that you can do? Yeah, it can actually go very, very broad, very far away, but it can tell you directly. If you look and observe a tree, how does it function? Yeah, where does the tree get the water? Is it from the gray water or is it from the rainwater? Yeah, rainwater can be underground water. It doesn't always mean that it's supposed to be a seawater. That's not meant that, yeah. Okay, but Jia is one of the elements that actually can penetrate the earth to find the underground water. Correct? Yeah, but over of this water, now this the things is going to happen, yeah. Overly of this water will then flush away the foundations of earth. Yeah, without the earth, then Jia cannot survive. Okay, it will be a floating tree. Then there's another term for that, floating trees. Yeah, so when you learn about it, then you need to know why is it they were meant like that. So tree protective, you're going to protect the Jia wood. Yeah, unconsciously you are caring about your rock wealth, your friends around you. Yeah, unconsciously you have to conquer the earth, yeah, which is your direct wealth. So your behavior will then relate to this. Yeah. So if you find a Jia wood friend, you just become friend with them. They will protect you. If you're a Jia wood boss, you always need to become the friend or the subordinates or the colleagues. Yeah, because whatever under the tree, they will protect you. Okay, so whatever that is beautiful, that are able to proceed, are able to persuade the Jia will protect you unconditionally. Because this is a perfect nature you can see from the word. Yeah. So the Jia, what is the functions of Jia? There's a few of the function of Jia. Yeah? Okay. Of course, the one that come in is 7 killing to actually trim the tree. So Jia, even though very stubborn, it must know where is it to let go. What kind of tree branches to let go? Yeah, if you have a lot of 7 killing, you are very good in doing this. And Jia only become functioning when it was being repurposed. So you can be stubborn, but sometimes you have to repurpose yourself. This is a Jia meaning. Yeah, because the Geng will going to come down. Now, what is the meaning of Geng? Geng is a very stubborn, is also a very stubborn kind of element, and is only about actions taking. It's only about actions taking because of Geng. Then you will know the Jia. If you want to become very good, it's always about actions taking. So this is all related to the chart, yeah? It's all related to the chart itself. Okay. Then of course, you have a ping fire. This is the sun itself. The Jia need the sun to survive, to grow, to have the purpose to protect people. Yeah, if there's no sun, then there's no problem to protect everybody else. Yeah, there's nobody else to protect. Now, this is what? This is actually related to hurting officer. This is eating God. Correct or not? This is a eating God. Hurting officer is the thing fire. Is it? Yes, it's correct. This is eating God. So, which is why for the Jia wood to function, they are always more dominant and massive protective. They always need to have a purpose, a problem to solve, which is this problem come from he himself or her herself. You're the one who have to seek what is it need to be protected. Yeah, so if you learn parser from everybody else, right? Oh, no sound. Is it no sound? Yeah. Is it no sound? Let me double. It seems like the thing is not moving. Everybody have sound? Number one for me. Okay now. Okay, thank you. I don't know why no sound, yeah? Sometimes the things. Yeah. So, okay, let's repeat a little bit of this. So your tree have to protect. Okay. 111. Let me listen first. Yeah. I better I listen to myself. Because I'm opening the things. Okay, it's good. Yeah. If it's too much, then the things will go haywire also. Yeah. So when you look at that, then you will know that why is it very protective? Yeah, because the sun is an eating god. You're actually producing up. This is you need to know where is it the problem come from. To protect people is that is actually under you. Yeah, so that's why it's a very protective. You can say is growing. It required to diversify because it need to reach further place to protect people underneath. But you need to find a purpose. The purpose come from you, come from your own understanding. Because this is the sun at the above. It's already a problem that everybody knows. But is it aligned with you? Is it the one that is killing, the people that is underground of you? Yeah, there's underground of you. So it's a way to look into that way so that you must have a purpose. Now you know why Jia is that good in that sense. Yeah. So when you look into Ting Fire, this is a way to let other people see who you are. Now, you can say that because Jia, okay, if you use a fire to burn, a candlelight to burn any of the trees, right? It will slowly burn, correct or not? Because Jia was actually able to produce everything out to burn. But most of the time, Jia are not willingly to do this. Yeah, because it will sacrifice himself. But if you are strong enough, you are actually very good in performing and let people see who you are, what you can do, how to attract. Your attractions also come from here. But you cannot overly do this. Yeah. So what is this supposed to mean? Which is also a meaning that this is how you show your attractions to other people by a more stability type of burning. Yeah. So when you see a Jia wood, you will then realize that if they want to attract you, the only thing they can do is actually the maturity that they have. Because they're not going to bombard everything and burn off. They're not that type of element. Okay, they're really not that type of element. So when you understand the Ting Fire, how that actually can burn the wood, can actually consume the wood, you cannot one shot put out everything. So in nature, the wood only can become more beautiful by itself, not by wildfire, but actually by a small burning type. And you need to do a lot of trimming because what you trim off is the one that actually can burn. You cannot burn yourself one. Yeah? You cannot do that. So that's why when you talk about attractions, because hurting officer is actually about attraction. Okay, this is directly about the attractions because you're producing up and how that you perform to people, how that you attract people, how that people will notice you. Okay, and you only can perform. This is the restrictions. Because this candlelight are the one that can only be seen at night time. So there's a restrictions on this. Even the sun, the way to find purpose, they also have a restriction to this. If the tree are living on the dark hours, this is a way of using the Ping Fire. If you are in a dark hour, most likely you are not able to find the purpose. Because nothing to protect. There's no problem to protect the underground. Your purpose as a tree is to absorb the sunlight and also protect the things that are below of you. Yeah. So on your chart, there is only two ways to really use the Jia wood if you are a Jia day master. So you cannot be on both ways, because if your daytime, your Bing fire is the purpose. If you are on the nighttime, your Ding fire has purpose. Now this represents on everything in everyone chart, everyone stem, yeah. Your Bing fire only can be useful when you're born on daytime. Your Ding fire can only be useful when it was actually born on nighttime. So to fully understand a Jia, you must also go into that way. Yeah, fully understand the Jia, but of course, there's the interactions coming in. You can personally look into Jia like this. Yeah, if you want to become good, because what is your purpose? You must find the Bing fire. Where is the Bing fire? There's a time you'll find the purpose. If no, you have no reason to protect the soil. You have no reason to protect the flower. No reason out of that. Yeah, which is why you will find some Jia wood, they are not really in that kind of attitude or protective attitude. They are not into that. Yeah? Most likely they are just stubborn because they want to hold on the ground to survive. Most likely they are stubborn. So the bad traits of the Jia is because of stubborn. The bad trait of the Jia is because not willingly to accept the X, which is the 7 killing, which is the Keng metal. So I directly tell you how nature function. You want to learn the stem, you're supposed to learn in this way. Now this way represent your day master, represent your own, it actually also represent your the 10 gods that you have. What is the, in which pillar? How does it function? Is it on a good function? Is it not a good function? Yeah, it's all related to that, yeah. So when you look into zinc metal, this is where zinc metal represent talkative, represent raging. It will just come out, and it can actually also represent that it can shine. Now, does a Jia need the zinc metal or not? It doesn't need zinc metal. So this is where you will realize that Jia can never do anything with zinc metal. A Jia wood will not be able to do something with that. Okay, and the way to shine for Jia is actually related to the fire. Means that you want to do your attractions are related to the fire. Zinc metal is also part of the attractions. But if you're a Jia, your Jia itself, you doesn't even need the zinc metal. So this is the part that Jia is not communicative. Jia doesn't know how to shine like a zinc metal. Yeah. And Jia will not be as cunning as a zinc metal. Yeah. Because zinc metal is one that is actually talk everything out, scheming. Yeah. They want to do things like in a good, in a more leveraging way, just talk to you, influence you by talking, by telling you, or by brainwashing you. So you will see a Jia can never do that. Because in Jia, this one is totally not useful at all. So the 10 stem itself tell you how to do one stem breeding. You need to be imaginative. Yeah. Rainwater in here. Rainwater, I will tell you that because this one, zinc metal is DO, right? DO. Do you think that this DO is functioning for a Jia? Also no. So you can say a Jia wood is pretty hard to stay disciplined. Yeah, you might not hear this other way, but I can tell you directly because it's not functioning at all because of element. Yeah, on the element base, it cannot. Okay, but Jia is willingly to do the DO. Because this is the yin element. Everybody is willingly to do the DO. But for them to become really know how to do it, I can tell you, because this element is no longer useful in the chart, it's very hard for them to do it. They willingly to follow the system, but they're not willingly to do it, not really good in doing it. It's not useful for him. Okay? So directly you will know that a Jia Wood person is not a systematic person. They are more like a stubborn. They are more like they want to protect something, they want to do something to protect, only to protect, but there's no system to do it. Yeah. So the keyword for Jia Wood is actually to do what? To actually go and understand the diversification and system. Yeah. But it's not really like a system. More likely like a 7 killing. Just take charge. A leadership role that come in. Yeah. Because for the job to become useful, you must take the X. If you're not trim, you will not diversify enough. Yeah. So for the rainwater here, I think Jia actually suppress this element. It doesn't even need this element. It can actually find him when he actually penetrate to the earth. It can actually do that. Directly just penetrate to the earth to find the water source. Doesn't even need the rainwater. Now rainwater in here is what? It's a resource. Right? This is what? This is IR and this is DR. Okay? You can say the Jia are more good with gui water, but because of its nature, its own nature, it doesn't really need these two water elements. It doesn't really need these two elements. So what does that actually tells you? That tells you directly that they are not those that are following the facts kind of person. No DO, no facts. They can find their own belief because of the roots can actually penetrate to the earth to find its own water source. So for Jia, their intelligence are coming by their own. Okay, then you will know that, okay, this person, what is the personality of all these things? You already tell you everything. He must control certain part of life to hold into a ground, to grow. The way that he can grow, he can find directly his own way to find the sources. Yeah. So how to interpret this? It can mean many things. Yeah. Like this, it can mean many things. If you look into business, then Jia have to hold the ground. Find something that is very, very good to hold on to ground, and then find a purpose to protect. This is how a Jia can find business. So where does the resource come in? This Jia, because of the things that he's doing, he can actually find the resources by himself. He doesn't really need other people to come in. He doesn't really need friends to come in. That's how Jia was functioning. Yeah. So since IR and DR are not that kind of dominating, but of course the DR is more useful in here. Yeah, the DR is more useful in here. This is when how it collects water. You know how the river was formed? How rainwater was formed? I think nobody actually know that. Yeah? So why is it that we cannot kill the mountain? Why is it that we cannot kill the mountain? Why is it that we cannot really don't destroy the mountain? Because the mountain was actually the source of water. Now, how does water form? Do you really think that the mountain itself can produce the water? Or it's a cycle of, the cycle of weathers? It was meant to be a cycle of weathers, right? When the water evaporates to go become the cloud is the water, then they pass by it becomes the mist. It actually passed by the tree collect the water then now form again, and now it become a river. Correct or not? So what does that mean to a Jia? That means it itself are the one that actually can attract water to come. He doesn't really need to go place, yeah, but he need to be in a good environment. Because if you're on the lower ground, nothing can collect. It can only penetrate to the earth to find water sources. But if it's carrying the earth, which is IW, this is how the money come in. Yeah? For the jar, if you want to find money, you're supposed to be on the high ground. Now, this tell you almost everything that related to Jia Wood. On the high ground, you can collect the resources by yourself. On the right place, if you invest on the right place, invest on the stability and trust because of Wu Earth, yeah, most likely you will gain the upper hand of your life. Okay, you just need to know where you are, what positions that you are. Then you will be in a good place. This is the reason that Jia are always the leader. This is the reason. Because you have to on the top level. If you're not in the top level, you cannot do anything. But Jia cannot become super rich. There's another reason for that. There's another reason for that. Cannot become super rich. Because Jia, you can only take the role and contribute to everybody else. Okay? You cannot become super rich. Yeah. But of course, I'm just telling you right now, you can become rich by how much that you can actually find the money. Where is the value? This is the value for Jia. Okay? Is it willingly to do it? Yang and yang, not willing to do it. Yeah? So this is why when you look into a job, the job attributes or behavior, then you will know that, okay, this person only believes is his own resource, own intelligence, yeah, and it is good because he tried to protect everybody else. He even protect his own knowledge. Yeah. The way for Jia to become good, it must withstand the 7 killing, which is the leadership role. Always have to do changes. Yeah. So Jia to survive, it actually requires the sunlight and also the soil to survive. Yeah. So when you read in a chart, it's not all 7 killing is bad. It's not all the direct resource is bad. It's related to the element itself. Okay, so this already tell you what Jia is functioning. Is it good with friend? Extremely good with friend. Okay, is it compassionate? Because he need to hold the ground. No matter how, he will exert nurturing effect. Because he want to protect people and also need to hold the ground to survive. It will protect everybody else. Yeah. Is it good with leadership role? Not really. Because not willing to do it. But if you want to be good, you need to take the leadership role. Yeah, without trimming your tree, you cannot. That's why it's mentioning as stubborn, magnanimous is very helpful, right? The keywords that all of you guys get, right? From whatever people that are actually sharing about Bazi. Is it like that? Yeah. So you can actually look into 10 steps and tell the entire story just based on nature. So once that you learn this, you can also look into your chart. Are your Jia Wood is useful or not? Example, let's imagine your Jia is actually your money, your wealth related stars. Yeah, your Jia inside your chart does not have soil. There is no substance, does not have sunlight, there's no purpose, there's no directions to find money. Without Wu Earth, there is no place to basically stand on, yeah, to absorb the resources. There's no way to come in to get it. So your chart directly can read in that way. Yeah, directly can read that. So what is that supposed to call? It's called shifting palace in Bazi. So just one singular way to use everything else. Yeah. Now, you see, just talk about this. I can never finish one. Already 1 hour. Anybody have questions? Yeah. Anybody have any questions about this? Do you get confused? What is it that you're supposed to do right now? What is it that what did I show to you guys? What did I actually show to you guys? Now, I just give example of wealth only, right? If it's go example like health, this represent an organ. Okay, this represent an organ. So it can means your spine, it can means your bone, it can mean because the tree look like your body. Okay, it can mean your bone, it can means your let's just say it can also means that your head, your brain is part of that part. Yeah. So what actually will cause you issue? What actually causes you issue? All the yin element will never have issue. All yin element will never have issue, but the yang one will have. So X-Keng and 7 killing, that means it's a pressure. Yeah, most likely this will cause accident. Too many Keng means accident. Too many Bing fire means too many stress coming in. Too many water, this is what element for, this is resource. Yeah, too many water indicates that this element have too many of energy producing in or supplement producing in that is unnecessary for the jug wood, can cause the jug to float. So this is also related to blood flow, which is not good for the jug. Okay, so if it's too many of earth, then this is related to indirect wealth. Okay, most likely jug is very hard to investment because it's a yin and yang. These two elements too big, and it's a countering effect. It's very hard to do investment. Okay, so in health wise, that means this jug do not know how to take shortcut for health. Do not know. Yeah? Okay, it's all pressure coming in. So what does this earth represent? It's a lump that cannot be filtered, cannot control a lump. So it might be cause your spine, your any locations that something just build up, you cannot release it. So there's a way to look into the chart. About relationship, completely different. When you look into relationship, then the reading will become different reading already. Because Jia, like Yi, like Ji, like Xing, like Ting, like Gui, is different type. Yeah. Who is the one that Jia like the most? Depends on the chart, you know. Yeah, because some of the chart make Jia become more good. Example, the Yi, the Ji Earth make the chart more good. Yeah, this is the combination. Yeah, but sometimes inside the chart does not have Keng metal. Then no choice, Jia will then have to take over the Xing, use a small knife to trim. It's very hard. It's not very that useful, but there's a lot of Xing metal. It still become useful. So it's a way to look in the chart, directly look into it, then everything is coming out of it. So some of it doesn't have affinity with some element. It was meant to be that. That's mean it cannot do that stuff. Totally cannot do or perform that particular element. So you just need to remember 10 of them. What is it their functioning is? Yeah. Please say find purpose. There's many ways to find purpose. Yeah. Many ways in a chart in a different perspective to find purpose. For Jia is different. For Jia Wood is different. Jia Wood purpose is actually looking into Jia Wood. Because Yi in the chart cannot survive by its own. Yi in the chart cannot survive by its own. Yi Wood cannot survive by its own. Yeah, the importance of yin and yang element is like that. A flower, one singular flower compared with one singular tree is different. The flower can just be stepped on, can kill by the sun, can kill by the fire, can kill by the metal element, can kill by the zinc metal, can kill by the rainwater, can be killed by the gray water. Everything can kill the Jia wood. To survive, it need to latch on the Jia. So every one of its purpose is different. Why is it I tell you that you learn Bazi? It's not this 10 element. The image was given to you for you to go external to find out how they actually looks like. Okay? Yeah? You guys learned something? Type of 1. I have to type 1, yeah? So today I can only talk about Jia. Next week I will talk about Jia wood. Okay, we go one by one, yeah? We actually go one by one. Is it okay for all of you guys? Do you guys get ideas of it? How does it look like? Nobody is there. Because if you want to learn this, you have to go into this level. In Bazi, you have to learn this level, yeah? So that you can actually grasp. I know these are too much. This is not a normal Bazi class. I'm not telling you just based on something. I tell you based on imagination. Based on how you imagine an element. Go and see an element. How does it look like? What does it kill it? It will actually give you ideas. Yeah. That's why I say the one who created all this school, very brilliant. Very, very brilliant. How did they actually come up with this? And how does actually human actually take that form to become like that? I also not really sure about that, but it's a crazy stuff that they actually did it in that way that can explain your destiny. And it was really flexible. I don't need flexible. If it's not flexible, the tools cannot survive for thousands and thousands of years. It must be flexible. So when the word flexible means you can be what you wanted, it is not really restricted to who you can become. Yeah, of course, Bazi chart have one portion of it that really tells you are fixated in everywhere possible because of the element interactions. But you can still change, yeah? How much do you want to add on? What is a good thing for you? Okay, now, I think that is it for today. I see you guys again next week. I'm sorry, last week I actually didn't announce. I was very busy. I even forget I have to do Facebook Live. I was extremely busy because I have to go for Penang for 2 days. Yeah. So I see you guys again next week. Yeah. And I hope you guys enjoy this. Of course, this way of reading are usable in all metaphysics tools. If it's related to this, even on feng shui, even on achievement chart, it's the same. Okay. Now, see you guys again. Goodbye.